This has been a very exciting weekend, a little overwhelming. I've learned a lot, and what I've learned is that I have even more to learn. So last night we spent a long time talking about educational law, and today has been a great discussion about the board agreement between the superintendent and the board. Yes, I think it was a very needed thing to look at and review, and I think that we have come to a consensus on that. I think there is agreement that some of the items were created at a different time and in a different culture of education, and that we can look at those and eliminate some, change some, and look at it more as a guidelines and not a document that has to be adhered to by law. Oh, and I think the public will be pleased. I think some of it I know even for myself, may have been misinterpreted a little bit. It was not intended, and the way it read maybe was not the way it was intended. So I feel like that we've eliminated some of those, and that we found controversial, and so I hope it'll be a better guidelines. That's the new word, guidelines to use.
I think Karen made a very good point that when you read something and you don't know the context with which it was developed and what those topics mean, people project onto them different things. So it was very important for us to spend a whole lot of time today. That's why we started with Miss Carson. She's the only person left on the board that was on the board in 2008. So she gave us the historical context as to why they started these guidelines or agreements. So I think it's very important that we talk about that, and I think that there were some things that we said we liked. The majority of it, everybody liked. There were about 5 things, I think, that people said they would like taken out of that, what we used to call an agreement. Now it may be called a guideline, and quite frankly, we'll take this, probably bring it back to the board, and the board will choose to adopt it or not. They may choose never to adopt it as guidelines. It may just be, we never decided whether we want to make it a formal document. Several board members say they think it's advantageous to have that so you can give it to people and sort of say this is how we expect to operate. Some people think, based on what happened with this document, that if people don't understand the conversation that we spent an hour and a half talking about, they can misinterpret it. So I think it'll be interesting to see what we decide.